Peace and grand risings, family. This is Dr. D once again from Mastery Beyond Boundaries. Wanted to share something very quickly with you this morning. Not so quick that you won't get the message, but very quick because I do have to have a client that is scheduled this morning, but I did not want to um, neglect my duties for giving our morning mineral. So I pray that this finds everyone in good health and in good spirit. I want to deal this morning with the title of I Brought You in This World So I Can Take You Out. And of course, you know there's something to come with it. We're going to deal with a story that everybody's familiar with. And by the way, I want to let you know that I deal with these stories from a biblical perspective because I know that that's what most of us are familiar with. Okay, but this will also help you to gain a new perspective on how these things, as I said before, how these things relate directly to your life, okay, versus them just being stories or some type of historical account. That's not what these things were written for. They were not written to be a historical account. They were written to fit your life exactly. Um, and but as it says, let those that have ears hear, and in all that getting, get understanding. So that's our responsibility. But very quickly, moving right along, we're going to deal with the story of Lot, Sodom, and Gomorrah. But we're not going to go through the whole story. We're going to deal with his wife. Okay, as the story talks about his wife and what happened to her. And many of us know that account. It's been talked about. It's been preached upon. It's been given in Bible lessons and what have you. But we're going to take it from a different perspective, as always, this morning, so that you can walk away with this and understand how it deals directly to your life, metaphysically, allegorically, and all those wonderful hidden things. Okay. So I brought you in this world so I can take you out. We've heard that before. Normally, in the past, I know it's been said to me, definitely been said to me in my youth. And it was definitely said to my parents in their youth coming up. It was something that parents and grandparents or what have you would say to children when they felt like the children were being disrespectful. And so they would remind them, I created you, and I can take you out of here. But in this light, we're going to talk about not only the mind, which we do always, but we're talking about states of consciousness or states of being when it comes to the mind, and how we bring situations into manifestation in our lives, even when we're not necessarily trying to do it. And we've discussed this before on how you can do it and not even giving it any effort to try to manifest something in your life. You do it by acknowledging where you are. And so, if you're recognizing that you are poor, if you're recognizing that you are sick, if you're recognizing that you are unintelligent, if you're recognizing all those things, then you will, if that's the awareness that you have of yourself, we've talked about how that will continue to manifest in your life. In other words, you will become that, and that's what you will present to the world. So in this instance here, we're going to deal with Lot's wife, his wife. First of all, the etymology, the spiritual etymology of the word wife means the unification with affections. The unification with affections. We know what affection is. Affection is like love. It's a great yearning for affection. So it's the unification. It's the I am, okay? The I am, okay? The awareness of oneself as the I am, okay? And the I am that lives within them, having unification with affections, okay? Which many times can cause confusion and disruption in your life, all right? Because when the I am is the awareness of yourself, but if it is connected or unified with affections, now we're talking about the senses, okay, which is the thing that gets us in trouble most of the time, or it thwarts our true way of being able to reason. When I say reason, I'm talking about being able to see things clearly from within. Okay, not necessarily what you see with your eyes. Okay, so Lot's wife stands for the I am and being unified with affections. Number one, so we know what affections are. Number two, there was in the story uh, a leaving or moving away from a place or cities that were being destroyed. Last week we talked about what cities are, what cities represent within you. Okay, and we said that they were fixed states of consciousness, fixed states of consciousness. Okay, and it was explained what that was. So if you understand what the cities are, they were fixed states of consciousness. You had Sodom and Gomorrah. We won't get into those definitions of those two words just yet. We'll do that another time. The main thing right now is as they were moving away from fixed states of consciousness from where they were, and as you yourself move away from fixed states of consciousness, the main thing is, especially when those fixed states of consciousness are not good for you, the people, that husband, that ex-husband, that ex-wife, that ex-boyfriend, that ex-girlfriend, okay, that old place that you used to go to all the time, you found yourself there, which wasn't good for you. The individuals that were there were not good for not only your health but also your growth and development in life. Things that you find yourself doing constantly, those are fixed states of consciousness. Okay, things that have made a home within you. Okay, so they were moving away from these things. And Lot's wife, the affections, okay, was told not to look back, not to look back. So I brought you in this world. We have brought many things into this world through our thoughts, through the manifestation of our thoughts. We talked about before not pointing the finger at everyone else and everything else when it comes to a lot of issues that we deal with within our lives. We have to take responsibility because much of it comes from that inner prayer that you're not trying to pray. Okay, however, it comes out of you anyway because we dealt with vibrations and frequency and things of that nature. So you're constantly praying whether you think so or not. That's why it's very important to have your mind right. Okay, so when you're thinking in a positive way or you're thinking on things that are good for you, and you're constantly doing that and you make that a way of life, then what happens is things begin to manifest in your life because that's what you're giving off. So those good things begin to manifest, those positive things, those things that are for your growth and development begin to manifest in your life. So I brought you in this world. The question is, what have you brought into this world? What have you brought into this world? What is it? I want you to think about that through your thoughts, through the things that you constantly focus on, through your fixed states of consciousness. What have you brought into this world? And are you willing? Are you at the point where you're sick and tired of going through what you're going through to take them out? You brought those things into the world. You brought those things into your life. You brought those people into your life. You brought those circumstances to your life. But are you in a place right now to where you're willing to take them out? Because you can. The statement is true. I brought you in this world so I can take you out. You do have the power to take them out, but your power is minimized when you constantly look back. It says that when Lot's wife looked back, she turned into a pillar of salt. Why a pillar of salt? Let's discuss this first. First of all, a pillar is that which supports or holds something up. Pillars support are a lot of times used as the beams to support a temple, a house, any type of building. They are supports, okay? And salt is a preservative. So holding up and preserving. When she looked back at something that she was supposed to be leaving alone, when you look back and constantly talk about, constantly bring up these individuals' names or these places, or talk about these situations as memories, always talking about it, always bringing it up over and over again, you are keeping it alive. You are preserving it. You are upholding or holding up the preservation of that thing that you said you're trying to get away from. You say you don't want nothing to do with it. Why keep it alive by talking about it? You say that you're done with it. Why keep it alive by sitting around reminiscing about it? You say that you want to get rid of it, that you're done with your fixed states of consciousness that you used to be in, those things that were in your life at one time that were no good for you. You say you're done with it. Why you keep running your mouth about it? Why do you keep finding yourself talking about it every time you turn around if it's something that you're done with? So we uphold, we support the preservation of things that are no good for us when we are constantly bringing it up, when we are constantly reminiscing about it, when we constantly look back. Stop looking back. What is there to see? You said you're trying to get away. You said you're done with it. You said you recognize it was no good for you. So you brought it into your world. You allowed that person, that thing, that place, that circumstance to come into your world. So why not take it out completely by turning your back towards it and moving forward with the rest of your life, leaving those things which are behind, leaving them and looking forward to the rest of your life, being who you're supposed to be, gathering yourself together and moving forward and making things happen that are good for you, that are good for your family. So, what did you bring into this world and what are you willing to take out? Stop looking back. Stop supporting the preservation of things that are destroying you. Love your family. Have a wonderful day. And always remember, as you awaken the excellence in you, leave some room for doing the same for someone else. Peace and blessings.